Yeah, you have to give example. It's not easy, but you have to do it. And then now, the problem for Indonesia, I think, is this. If we can get this done well, I think very fast we will be the surprise of the world. For instance, I came into 2 islands of Indonesia, Bangka and Belitung, and we got a report there were 1,000 illegal tin mines. 1,000 on these 2 islands. And we were losing maybe 80% of our total tin production to these illegal miners and through smuggling. And I said this has to stop. I made a military training program with naval ships, airplanes, helicopters, drones, and we just blocked these 2 islands. No vessel can come in and out without us knowing what's inside. And basically we stopped the smuggling. One sampan tried to go out. We found out there had tin on the sampans. Can you imagine? So, and then we confiscated several cases of tin ingots, rare earth, etc., etc. We calculated that we saved our country about a couple of $1 billion. So next year, the increase of tin production, we hope, will come back to its original position, and we should be earning maybe at least 3 or 4 times what we were earning last year. So this is just one example of what we recovered. We also, of course, I took over from the previous government, handed me over the problem of about, I was reported come to us, sir, out of the millions of hectares of palm oil, about 5,000 are in violation of the law. What? Yes. Oh, no, so not 5,000, 5 million. 5 million hectares are in violation of the law. So I said, I am sworn in to uphold the law. So I told my Attorney General, my state auditing board, carry out investigations. What you find out, if there's a case, terminate their concessions. And that's what we did. I think by as of this month, we have recovered about 3.7 million hectares of plantations that violated the law. One plantation, 2 plantations, one was 50,000, the other 50,000, violated the law. There was a Supreme Court decision to confiscate those 2 estates, those plantations. 18 years ago, Supreme Court of Indonesia decision, not carried out for 18 years. The Attorney General came to me and said, what, Supreme Court? Inkrah, so no more ways to appeal. So I said, carry out, execute. Sir, this and that, what? You guys afraid? I ordered my armed forces, you accompany this Attorney General's office, accompany the state auditors, protect them, go in there and confiscate. 100,000 we take over, and no problem. So I think this is the case is the government now must enforce the law. And I'm determined to enforce the law, and I'm determined that the Indonesian government must be respected by everybody. The law is the law, regulations are regulations. Those who violate the law will have to deal with the law. So that's as simple as that. What I mean is, we are recovering a lot of assets,
Well,
by
this,
efficiency.
Taking, whether it's on the village level, enforcing the law,
Yes.
fighting corruption, dealing with the tax code. There have been a lot of protests, as you know, in your country and in other countries. People worried about the rise of the cost of living, inequality, but you seem to have embarked on a path where you're going to have a vibrant economy, but you're going to make sure, as the phrase goes, not only is no one going to be left behind, but they're going to be very much part of a moving forward, whether it's in a village or in Jakarta. And before we let you go, though, one other thing, since we have you here, we won't let you answer the question. You were recently in Egypt, invited by President Trump to witness the historic agreement. Can you share with us, before you go, observations about what you saw and what you think may be unfolding, which also underscores Indonesia's traditional foreign policy of trying to stay out of the elephants who get in fights with each other, the great powers, that you focus on growth rather than international disputes. But give us some quick observations about what you saw in Egypt. By the way, the president went to Egypt midnight on Sunday night, and what was it? A few hours later, you came back. Amazing. Give us some observations about what you saw.
Yes, it was very interesting. I think there was a sense that we are at a historic opportunity. A lot must be done. There's still a long way. Anything can happen. But we all feel that this time there's hope. So in New York, during the United Nations General Assembly, President Trump called about 8 of us, 8, let us say, leading Muslim countries. Indonesia considered Muslim majority, so we were invited. And he gave us his plan. We looked at the plan, we discussed it. It gave us hope. And then some of the other Arab leaders said, "Sir, we can live with the plan, we like it, it gives us hope. But what about Israel?" Right? And so he said, "Well, basically what he says is, I will convince the Israelis." And apparently he managed to do that. We have now a ceasefire. Aid is coming in. Hostages have been released. Some still, I think some dead bodies have to be recovered. So yes, there is, I would say, still hope that we can get this through. And Indonesia is still willing to be part of that. If they need peacekeeping troops, we said we are willing to provide peacekeeping troops. And so I'm optimistic. I hope that this can go through.
Well, in your speech in the UN, you gave a very courageous speech about if Israel would recognize Palestine, countries should recognize Israel, even if they're Muslim. And criticized you for that, but that exemplifies, though, the kind of firm leadership, forward leadership that the world needs. And so we've run out of time, unfortunately, but I think people that it's issues like ice for fishermen or trying to bring peace to a troubled region, Indonesia has a very strong leader, thank goodness. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you for all of you.